our respect. I don't need your respect plus the dollars and we gon' get there. That fact. 617 ENT. Come on. We heat. 617 ENT, we eat. 617 ENT. 617 ENT, we eat. 617 ENT. Original envision, purpose built few. Structure the scale, never fail. No time for imposters. Do it our way. For real. 617 ENT, we eat. 617 ENT. 617 ENT, we eat. 617 ENT.
617 ENT, don't stop. We hot. Don't stop, 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 don't stop. 617 ENT, don't stop. We hot. Don't stop, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. You said I hit your bar. 617 ENT, don't stop. 617 ENT, don't stop.
Let's keep it real. There's no time for imposters. We're gonna do it our way, for real.
Look, if you're a musician, an artist, a creator, you know that making the music, that's the fun part. The hard part, the part that trips everybody up, is understanding the business behind it all. So today, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna pull back the curtain on the music industry and break down exactly how you own your work and, the important part, how you actually get paid for it.
So, just imagine this for a second. You're in the studio, the magic happens, and you've just created an absolute masterpiece, a song you just know is a hit. But let me ask you a serious question. Who actually owns it? Getting this answer wrong? Well, it isn't just a tiny mistake. It can literally define or even completely derail your entire career.
The entire music business, and I mean all of it, is built on one core concept: copyright. And here's the thing you have to understand. It's not something you have to go apply for. It's an automatic right you get the second you record your idea or even just write it down. This is the legal foundation that turns your art into a real, tangible asset.
Okay, now this is probably the single most important concept you need to grasp. Every song you've ever heard actually has two separate copyrights. That's right, two. First, you've got the composition. That's the song itself, the melody, the lyrics. Think of it like the blueprint or the sheet music. And second, you have the sound recording, what we call the master. That's the specific audio file, the MP3, that you actually listen to. Two copyrights mean two sets of owners, and you guessed it, two potential streams of income.
So how does the money actually find its way to you? It's all about royalties. Every single time your song gets played or sold or used in any way, it generates income. But that money doesn't just appear. It flows through a bunch of different streams to get to your bank account. So let's follow the cash.
The three main streams you really need to get a handle on are performance, mechanical, and sync royalties. Performance is pretty straightforward. It's for any public play, like on the radio or in a restaurant. Mechanical is for any time a copy is made, like a digital download or a vinyl record being pressed. And sync, that's the big one, when your song gets used in a movie, a TV show, or a commercial.
Now, you're not expected to chase down every radio station and coffee shop yourself, right? That's where performance rights organizations, or PROs, come into the picture. Groups you've probably heard of, like ASCAP and BMI. They basically act as collection agencies for songwriters. They go out, issue the licenses, collect all the fees, and then they send you the money. Seriously, if you've written a song, joining a PRO is step number one. It's absolutely non-negotiable.
Okay, here's a concept that confuses almost everyone, but it is so crucial for getting paid everything you're owed. A PRO splits the total performance royalty into two equal halves. You have the writer share and the publisher share. The writer share, that 100%, always goes to the songwriter, no exceptions. Now here's the key. If you haven't signed a publishing deal with a big company, then you are your own publisher. And that means you're entitled to collect both halves of the pie.
It's really important to remember that different organizations collect different types of money. Think of it like a team where everyone has a specific job. For the composition, your PRO, like ASCAP, collects those performance royalties we just talked about, while another group called the MLC handles the mechanicals. Now, for the master recording, a company called Sound Exchange handles digital performance royalties, and your distributor, like DistroKid or TuneCore, collects the money from streams and sales. It's a whole ecosystem, and you need to make sure you're registered with all the right players. Okay, so we've got copyrights protecting the art and royalties handling the money. But it's the agreements you sign that actually determine who gets what. This is the part of the business where knowledge isn't just power, it's your absolute best protection.
A perfect example of this is something that happens every day, buying a beat online. When you lease a beat, you're really just renting it. The producer keeps full ownership, and your use is usually limited, like you can only get a certain number of streams. But when you buy the exclusive rights, that beat becomes yours. You can use it for unlimited commercial release. The contract you sign in that moment, well, it's everything.
To really see why this matters so much, let's walk through a quick story. So, meet Joe. Joe writes some absolutely incredible lyrics, and, he just texts them over to his friend Jane, who's a super talented performer. Jane is blown away by the lyrics. She immediately records the song, and then she goes to the US Copyright Office and registers the entire song, melody, music, and Joe's lyrics, all under her name, and her name alone. She's not trying to be malicious. She just doesn't think it's a big deal.
Okay, now fast forward 8 years. The song is a massive, global hit. It's earning millions of dollars. Joe hears his lyrics on the radio one day and realizes what happened. So let me ask you, what do you think? Who legally owns this song?
Well, the law is crystal clear on this. Joe owns his lyrics from the moment he wrote them down and sent that text. Jane's copyright registration is actually invalid for the lyrical portion because she claimed authorship of works she didn't create. In fact, her using his lyrics without permission is technically copyright infringement. The big takeaway? Registration doesn't create ownership, the act of creation does.
So how do you avoid this entire nightmare scenario? It's so simple. You use a split sheet. It's just a simple, one-page document that everyone in the room signs, ideally before the song is even finished. It just states exactly who wrote what percentage of the composition. You gotta think of it as a prenup for your song. It keeps the business clean so everyone can stay friends and collaborators.
All of this, really, it all brings us to a fundamental shift in mindset. You're not just an artist making art. You are a business, you're a startup, and it is time for you to become the CEO of your own career.
So what are your first moves as the new CEO? Here's your checklist. Step 1, formalize your business. Form an LLC to protect your personal assets from any business trouble. Step 2, join a PRO. We talked about it. Get affiliated with ASCAP or BMI to start collecting those royalties. And step 3, master your metadata. Think of ISRC and ISW codes as the social security numbers for your songs. If they're wrong or missing, the money just gets lost in the system.
And all of this brings us to what is basically the holy grail for any artist: owning your masters. When you own the sound recording, you control its destiny. You get the lion's share of the streaming revenue. You are the one who decides if it gets used in a movie. And maybe most importantly, you own a valuable asset that can appreciate and pay you and your family for the rest of your life.
So I'll leave you with this one last thought to chew on. Every single song you create isn't just a piece of your soul, a piece of art. It's a piece of property. It's an asset. The real question is, are you treating it that way? Thanks for tuning into this explainer.